We're live. Hi, guys. Welcome to a
Hello
very
there.
sunny West Sussex. I've got my sidekick, earworm, co host, whatever you want to call him.
It's all
Um,
very confusing, this one.
yeah, we're not racing against each other. It's not I'm better than what Andy is. We are just wanting to be part and parcel of this. Let's turn a wand with a skew. So rather than me do one and Andy do one individually, we're going to sort of worm for each other, both be turning individually. So while I'm turning, Andy will be keeping an eye on the chat. And then when Andy takes over, we're going to do 5-6 minutes apiece. So it's not going to be me all the way through the finish and then Andy all the way through the finish. It's going to be in stages. So there'll probably be sort of 4 bits. But I'll put Andy in the background uh, by bringing me to the front. Let's change the camera. So what one did I say I wanted? I wanted the top
The
one.
top one, yep.
Right, that brings my piece of wood in. Do you want to put your piece of wood on, Andy, so that you're ready to go?
Yep, it's all there. It's ready to go.
It's all there. Right, let's put that in the background. And I am starting with a 12.25 inch piece of oak, and it is 20 mil, 18 to 20 mil square. Bit of European oak. There's a little bit of a bias on the grain that way. You can just see it in the shot there. This way it's relatively straight, but there is a bit of a bias on it that way. It's the best I can do for camera shots, but I've turned off most of the lights, so you'll have to excuse me because I'm nearly turning in darkness, but hopefully I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to start rounding this off and pass you all over to Andy.
I'll work down the list. We've got something like 21 people in, so it's good news. You've got
That is good news.
bit of glitching on your camera, Keith.
Oh, perhaps I'll need to headbutt it then. Can't do much about that, I'm afraid.
Okay, right. So I'll go down the list. It's Terry Hooper. He says he's in early for a change. It is a change. He's quite right. Doug Miller, Andy H. Who's he? Circular Wood by Keith is another stranger. Doug Miller, Robbo Robertson. Good day, Robbo. Doug Miller. Oh, I said Doug Miller. Steve Scott. Colin Izzard. Lawrence Bugasia. Same names coming up. Chris Spinningwood Dodger. Another one from down under. Flicks Wood Turning and Timber Creations.
Another one from down under.
Oh, right. Yes, okay. Sid's Repurposing. That's another one from down under, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
More
we got the
people from
Aussie
down
brigade
here.
in then.
Alison
But you're
Heath.
all welcome. Hi, Alison.
Alison Heath, my wife, so I recognise her. Copperell. Excuse me. Gary Y. Chris Dodds. I've lost my place now. It suddenly jumped. There we are. John McDonald. Jigs's Shed. And I think we're there. Anybody I've missed, I apologise. Do let me know. Linnykins has just come in. Do let me know and I'll give you a shout.
Right, there's no specific design parameters. It's just a wand. And mine usually evolve as I'm turning. Feels like I might have just got a little bit of a flat. No, totally true. No.
No, it looks all right.
So this is an inch skew. It's a marbles. It's a square skew, but I have arist all four corners. Or to those that don't know what arist means, I've taken them off just so that it rides along the tool rest easier.
They can make a real mess of your tool rest, can't they?
Yep.
Digging gouges out of them.
So a parallelish handle. Just going to hit that with a bit of 120 to start with. I'm going to turn the fan on. That's on. Bit of 240. I'll do. Just nothing special, and a little bit of texture on mine. Now this is the decorating elf with the round cutter in it. So basically what that gives you is a 45-degree spiral. So just a light tickle back, and I don't know whether, no, the camera's not picking it up, but there's a slight spiral for length, which is all I want for the time being. And just going to profile the top of the wandish bit. Oh yeah, I can see my camera glitching out the corner of my eye.
I say that, it seems to be all right. Oh no, it's going on YouTube as well. I thought it wasn't going on YouTube, but it is.
Right, so that's my handle sorted. I'll bring Andy back on and he can take over. How about that then, a modern technology?
It's quite amazing, isn't it? Yeah, good job I had that up because I was taking a drink at the time.
Oh, God.
So, anyway, right. Here we are. That's my piece of wood. It's a piece of mahogany. It's a bit bleached out, isn't it? It's such a bright day today. I think I might just turn all the lights off. Is that better? That's better. Yep, that's better. So, yeah, piece of mahogany. It's slightly undersized, but it'll be all right. It's about 18 mil, 20 mil, probably. Going to try and use just a skew. I'm starting with a similar one to Keith's, which is the square one with the corners taken off. Inch and a quarter or something.
For all those that I miss saying hello to, hello. I'm driving mine with a small step centre, and I have the ring centre in the tailstock end. So I don't know what Andy's working on.
Driving it with a small step centre. Yep. And then the other end I've got a small point, just to allow me to get into that end, so to make the point of the wand. I usually use a step centre that end as well, but it does tend to get in the way a bit. So I thought I'd try something different. I don't think I'm there yet. No, nowhere near. That's better.
Gary Y saying he's never seen a double screen before. It's not something we do every day, Gary, but
no, we did have to experiment.
Yeah, these little ones don't take a great deal of time. I can generally do one quite easy in half an hour, and Andy timed himself this morning and he was under half an hour. So overall we're looking at about an hour. And like I said at the start, we're not looking at racing each other. There's no bonus points for, oh, I've got a better shape than what you've got. It's just turn a wand. There's been some fairly heavy ones out there. There's been some delicate ones. Everyone's got their own style. So
yeah, I've quite deliberately started with a fairly small piece of wood, so it's going to be a fairly delicate one.
yeah, so did I. I don't want to put all my wood on the floor in shavings.
I've just got a bit of a tear out. I've got a knot in it, just to make life more interesting.
Yeah, Robbo's saying in Australia, there's sometimes 3 or 4 of them turning at once on YouTube.
Yeah, it's not something we've done before, so.
No, I think I could get up to 10 of us on StreamYard to turn at once.
Oh, really?
Or, yeah, so we'd each have a full screen while we're turning. But my thought on that is that you got too many, people are going to get fed up with seeing you starting, then another 9 starting the project, and what are we turning? So
could
we're
end
just
up
going to, yeah,
a bit like having a house full of earworms. You'll get very noisy.
So it's a trial run for us, and it's just something different for you guys as well. And I'm always happy to have a go at something different, something I've not turned before, or a method I've not fully keen on having a go at that. We've all got different things, and it's nice. I mean, we used to do a challenge, not so much a challenge, but we used to, when we had club, 3 lathes in the centre, and we'd all be turning the same thing, and we'd all be doing it slightly differently, but that was on 3 lathes in an open hall. Well, we can't quite do the same on here, but we can do next best, hopefully.
There were always good evenings when we used to have people turning. Everybody gathered around watching.
Well, if you don't like one person so much, you go and find someone else to watch.
You move on. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Same as you guys. If you don't like what we're doing, you can leave.
Come back in 5 minutes. It'll be different.
Yeah. So it's just competing this nondescript challenge that Brian set at the beginning of the week. Like I say, I did post some pictures of ones that I'd made last week and the week before. It's not something I do every week. It's more something I do if I want a little bit of small turning and a bit of skew work.
I'm very deliberately going for a different shape of handle. Tapering down at the ends.
So as normal, if you've got any questions, guys, just stick them in the chat with a few question marks in front. I'm watching what Andy's doing, so I'm not necessarily following the chat all the time.
I think that's roughly what I'm after. Apart from that bead, that's awful. Gone for a smaller skew here just to get me in without catching the chuck or anything.
No fun.
That's better. Just whip over that with a little bit of glass paper. Abranet, because I can. 180. Oh, it's too big. Get out of the way. It's easier to do this while it's still fairly firm, because when this other end gets very thin, it will start to vibrate.
Yeah, I tend to do a bit and sand it as I go. Peter Kelly's put in a question. He's never turned a wand. Where do you get your phoenix feathers from? They're in very short supply at the moment, Pete, because of COVID and Brexit. Unicorn hair is a bit of the same. They've used most of the unicorn hair, and without making them look bald, we've been banned from using it. So what I tend to do is go for dolphin armpit hair. There's quite a few of them just off the coast around West Sussex at the moment. So we call them in. They like a bread roll, and while they're eating their bread roll, we just pull a few armpit hairs out.
Oh dear. Yeah, my phoenix is completely bald, so I can't use any more from that. Right, there we are. Over to you, Keith.
Okay, so I'll go back onto me. So, welcome back, guys. Exactly the same as I left it. And I've just got a little bit of a flat along the top. You can just see it picking up the light. So I'm going to start to work that down.
Alison says, "What have you been drinking, Keith?"
Only conventional tap water.
From the special tap.
Yeah, it's called Kiddie Amusement tap water.
Peter Kelly's come in.
Yeah, it was Peter that I was explaining the
Oh yes, sorry.
To.
I've just seen his comment up there. Yep. Oh, that's my phone.
So just getting a rough taper to this. I don't want to make it too thin down the bottom. So about there, because I'm going to work either side of that. No good. It's no good. I'm going to have to turn the light on for a second.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Got my sunglasses on. I'll be all right.
Yeah, I can turn it out when I've just got this bead. I'm standing in all the light that is available. So.
Yeah, actually, it's not too bad. It's settled down a bit.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Just need to clean up to that bead. Now I can turn it out. And I'm going to start pairing this off a little bit thinner. And I reckon another one about there.
Oh, good, because I'm only doing one, so that's all right. I don't want people to think I'm copying you.
I don't know what you're doing. This is coming straight out of the big grey mind box that sits on my shoulders.
I've got my design in my head.
Good.
Which I'm gonna stick to regardless of what you do. So that's all right.
So mine gets made up as I go along. So I'm not really going uphill, but I'm going parallel with the grain on that last little bit. So doesn't look too bad. And while I'm here, I'm just going to mark that with the nose of the skew and a bit of formica just to put a mark on there.
I will be doing some of that.
That's fine. That's fine. Quickly attack that with a bit of 120. Doesn't take a lot. 240. And it's worth sanding as you go, particularly. It feels like I've got a bit of a flat there. I have a little bit of a flat. Not a problem. Take a little bit off of there. So I'm using my left hand as a steady. That light's got to go back on. Feels like I've got rid of that. It was only a microscopic flat,
yeah.
But I could feel it.
You can feel it when it's spinning, can't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Just sand over where I burnt that, because it always raises a little bit of an edge.
Yeah, it does.
And that's me done down the first bit. So we'll head back now to Andy. You dressed still?
Well, yep, I am indeed. Yep, there we are.
Yeah.
The only thing I've done is put a bit of sanding sealant on there, just to dress it up a bit, and just to prove I'm not copying. That's basically what I'm making.
Right.
So you can see that I have actually got the Bernie in there, and I have got some beads, but not as many beads. So
well, I should be putting one more or two more, possibly three more burn lines on in a minute.
Right, but, I've got about seven to do or something. I don't know how many it is.
Quite a few.
Quite a few. Yes, I like to be greedy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I forgot to put my tool rest back on, but apart from that, everything's absolutely fine.
So what have I missed in the chat? I bet it's Voldemort trying to interfere with the videos.
Right. Okay.
Armpit hair. What have I just missed?
So I'm going to have a bead about there.
Now. Catch you all later. Thanks, John, for popping in, mate. Glitch must be a one thing. My camera glitched the whole way through my video. Jigsy's off. I bet it's Voldemort trying to the videos. I can leave the light on, thanks, Robbo, but most of the time I can see quite well. It was just that side of that bead that I was basically standing in, the only little bit of light that's coming in the door. Right, it's caught back up on the chat. Nothing important in there. I think with me following it on StreamYard, the picture isn't as good as what anyone follows it on YouTube will be.
All right.
I noticed last night it seemed quite dark as I was turning that bowl, but get indoors and bring it up on YouTube, and it's a different picture completely.
All right. Okay.
So,
Oh.
so Terry's just whacked a question in there. You started chuck end, not thin end. Yeah, you don't want to turn it to the thinnest diameter before you've got the thickest bit done.
So it's leaving the strongest bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I always tend to, and Andy's done the same, put the handle end chuck end and made the point end tailstock end. I have turned them exactly the opposite way with the handle at the tailstock, but I do start turning at the tailstock then and finish at the chuck end. So it makes very little difference, but you need to work from fat to thin.
Yeah, and trying to leave it so that it's driving through the fat end. Because
it's better if you can, yes.
the other end becomes very weak.
So if you're turning with the chuck holding it, Terry.
Oh, that's different. Yeah.
You would turn from the thin end back, but you would basically dimension it to what you wanted. You would work from the point of the thin end finial, call it what you will, and finish that, and then work back to the chuck. But as we're between centres, we want to work from fatter to thinner. It looks like Andy's watch is about a minute slow. My computer says it's 2 minutes to 3.
Oh, it might be. It stopped this morning, so I may not have put it right.
No. Can't get away with anything, mate, can you? Not on here.
No, absolutely. It's such a clear watch that a number of people have commented on it. It's a nice one because I can actually see the time. I've got another watch that doesn't have any numbers on it, and I have to study it for a while to work out what the time is.
Yeah, guesswork all the time.
Right, we'll just whap a bead on there. I'm not going to do the other side of that because I can't really get to it at the moment. It'd be easier when I turn the other side down. A little bit of glass paper on there. Excuse me. Right, we'll start with 180 again. And then we'll put the lines in. It doesn't matter which one we use particularly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was right.
Yeah, that's more luck than judgment, isn't it?
It certainly was. I've lost my glass paper now.
It's over there.
Oh, there it is. I've got it. A bit of formica. Move the tool rest away, didn't I, stupid boy?
You can see how well Andy's is flexing.
Yes.
And you're down
It's
to about 10 mil now, are you?
something like that, yes. So there's
Yeah,
plenty of
10.
strength there yet.
Oh, yeah.
Jump to 320, which I wouldn't do if I was doing
No,
something which I was
you've
taking
missed
more
one.
care with. But
Yeah.
for the sake of saving time, I'll miss out the odd
Oh, we got plenty of
piece.
time. You only half an hour on the clock so far.
Yeah, but who wants to watch sanding?
No one wants
Cell-
to technically watch what sanding, but still. Yeah.
Cellulose sanding sealant, and it's ready for the next bit. Over to you, Keith.
Right. Bring me back onto screen. This is actually working quite well. We were a
Yeah,
bit hesitant last night as to whether it would work or wouldn't work or how it would work.
it's something
Right.
new, isn't it? So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to start taking the end down. You can hear the vibration, but it's not excessive and it's not nearly at the final cut. So I'm not too worried, because what I should do, now I'm getting to the final diameter, I use my hand as a steady. And
we
it's no good.
just
I'll
had
take
somewhere.
Robbo's word for it that it's okay with the light on, because I unfortunately do need it.
We've had somewhere near a quarter of an hour each, so
Okay,
that's
that's fine.
not bad at all.
No,
As you say, it's not a race.
no, it's not the first man home is the winner. We're all winners. It's just that just completing this challenge. I
I'm
don't
going to
know where it
try.
come from originally and why it was set up, but it's
Brian who had the idea, I think, but
Brian set it up. Yeah,
not sure quite
I've
why. But yeah,
got to reduce that bead a fraction.
I think it was to get Mark to use the skew, wasn't it?
Was it? Yeah,
And
little
then
bit of a
Steve,
kickback.
but Steve also did one with a skew. Steve SK
SK, yeah.
Craft. He did one with a skew. I'm not sure quite. It sort of came out at that point, didn't it? So
Yeah,
I'm going to try doing my next bead with my 10mm round skew, just to see if I can.
my camera's going silly at the moment, so I'm sorry, guys. It's funny, I'm not looking at it, but I can see it out the very
Yeah,
corner of my
yeah,
eye.
yeah. It's a shame. It's the bottom half of the picture that's flickering.
Right.
I think Hodgepodge is right. It's Voldemort trying to interfere with the videos. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Sorry, I just seen Hodges' comment about Robbo saying you can leave the light on, Keith. He said that's probably the first time someone's told him that, Robbo.
Starting to get down quite thin. Well, I'm adding the turbocharge unit to mine.
Oh, it was to get Steve to use the skew, according to
Was it?
Robbo.
Right.
I think he's right. Yeah, I think it was. Yep.
Right, okay. I don't always see Steve's live, and I must admit I haven't caught up on his last week's one. I spent all last Sunday in the workshop down at the museum, and I will be doing the same again this Sunday. So,
Classic cars, isn't it, this Sunday?
yeah, and a sellout.
Yes. We were very busy on Thursday. I couldn't believe it. Busiest we've ever been, I think.
Uh-huh.
Because Thursdays are not known to be busy.
They're slowly picking up. Right, that's the shape I'm looking for. Feels like I've got a little... No, it isn't. It's a little whisker that's picked up, because I haven't sanded this yet. So, That's straight on with 240. No messing about. Sand the beads. I don't know why this camera's having a mental. But while I'm on this time, I'm just going to grab the Formica and put on a couple more dark lines.
You see that flexing now?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And the next time I come on, I will finish it. So over to you, Andy.
Okie dokie.
There we go.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that looks like me. Let's get a bit of speed out of it, and we'll work on this end. It's going to stop about there. I'm going to try and go quite a bit thinner than Keith went.
Okay. So
Just
Chris has put in there. I'll put it on the screen. At the museum, do you have a reversible tram bench? I've never seen one before. Being asked to restore one. Chris, enlighten me. What do you call a tram bench? What are you calling a tram bench? And Peter Kelly's saying he's hoping it's busy tomorrow as he's down there.
All right.
Yes, so do I, Pete.
Should be. Lots of bookings, so.
So going back on to the Steve and the Skew, apparently Mark bought Steve a Skew for his birthday and had to get him to use it.
Oh, that's right. Yes, yes, indeed.
Right. Okay. I'm still trying to work out what a tram bench is.
I can't imagine.
Particularly a reversible one.
Yeah.
It's a seat that flips over so that passengers can face forward.
Oh, yes, I know what you mean. Yeah, the back of the seat.
Yeah, we have that on
Blackpool.
One set of carriages. I think it's 3 carriages that we can do that on. So you can all face forward going, and you push it over and you all face forward going back without turning it round. Yes, one of the 3 of the carriages, I believe, have got that facility. But we've got carriages and engines from all over the south of England. I believe one of them actually comes from the Isle of Man as well. So, not my department, not totally clued up on that part of it, but we have a it's not miniature railway, is it? It's a brain's gone.
Narrow gauge.
Narrow gauge railway, and that runs the complete length of the 36-acre site, and there's several loops on it.
Which is the same gauge as the old railway they used to use in the mines.
Yeah.
Down there.
Yeah. And
as seen on James Bond.
Yeah, and so we've got the cave entrance, the mine entrance that was used on James Bond. And we're having a James Bond day weekend down there. Yeah, they were on the trams, not on the platforms. It's rather a cunning style of seat, I've looked at them because I was asked if we could cut some board for them. The pivot pin is centre of the seat on a lower bracket, so that you've got a backrest one way and you've got the backrest if you flop it over. It's quite a clever design. The seat's not very wide, but it's only for short journeys anyway.
All the old trams used to have them. If you look on the Blackpool trams, they still have.
Right.
They still use them. I've just caught that, marked it down.
Hodge been over to the Isle of Man then. Did you see their Manx cats? They've got 3 legs apparently, all of them.
No tails.
And no tails. I think I've got that right.
Yeah. Well, maybe not, but hey, we won't worry about it.
It's close anyway. Well, I think you guys know that you can't always take me serious on certain things. Turn in, yes, but not always in the chat on general banter.
Just caught that with a skew. That's better.
Yeah, I did the same on the top one of mine.
Yeah. Just not paying attention.
Well, no, it was me not being able to see as much as anything.
Right. Yeah, I'm not too bad actually at the moment. I'm managing. Whether anybody else can see is another matter. But
yeah, we can see it. It's pretty clear.
Right, so I'll leave cutting it off until you've done your next bit, I think.
Okay. Well, my next piece is have a good shake up with a sanding sealer. And
yeah, okay. I'm just going to finish sanding this down while you're doing that.
Grab a bit of paper so that, right, in that case, I'll hit the me button.
Yep, you carry on, and I'll just finish. I've only got one more grade to go.
Right. So I'm going straight on with my normal sanding sealer, which is the shellac. I've used it so long now that I can get it to work. I know the properties of it. It's thinned down 50-50 from the jar that it comes in. Works for me, so why should I change it?
Absolutely.
So now you can, you could, if I turn this light out, possibly. No, not much better. It's not quite so burnt out. Right, let's wipe this down.
Right, I'm with you again.
It's meths and shellac mixture, so it does evaporate fairly quick. But you just need to dry it off as it's a lot damper.
Are you using it from pure terps or anything? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it says on the container, should it go gloopy, add a drop of meths.
Yeah.
I've always got that indoors because I drink quite a bit of that each night. Right, so now we're dry. You can see that there's a different colour where I'm pointing with my finger, but you can't really see the cross hatching running through at the moment. So straight on as I normally or always used to finish before Yorkshire Grit came on the surface. And I use the Libron fine paste wax, the Black Bison. It's clear, but it's yellow. It's actually quite orange in natural. So a little bit on a Scotch pad, Weebrax pad. Turn the speed down. Just got to be a little bit careful either end because I've got rough timbers there. So I'm minimising the amount of pad on that end, working it into the crevices, either sides of the beads, making it sing.
Steve Scott's got a question. He says, "Have you
No,
made your own shellac from flakes?" I have
no.
done once along when I was teaching woodwork. I did actually do it because somebody asked me about it, so I thought I'd better find out. So I did actually get hold of some flakes and make some shellac, and it worked very well. But you have to keep watering it down, or methicing it down, or I think we used terps actually, but
They're readily available from eBay, Amazon, anyone like that. Let's put the lid on that before I do the inevitable and put it on the floor and fill it up with shavings.
yeah, Flick's wood turning says he makes his own.
As a she, by the way.
She makes his. Oh, I was watching somebody who called themselves Flick doing a live, and I thought it wasn't a female. Okay, I'm quite happy to be wrong because I was assuming it was a female. That's why I was surprised when I watched this thing and I thought, oh, it's not, it's a male. Okay, fine. I'm sure Flick knows.
And I'm sure she'll tell us in a minute. But, I don't think I'm wrong on that one.
Felicity.
So what?
Ah, yeah. Right. I think there's the clue there.
Yep. So I'm wiping it off, and
I do
I'm just
apologise,
wiping
Felicity.
it in.
Flick. I'm well known for it.
The beauty of the paste wax is you don't need to let it sit and evaporate some of all the nasties and bits and pieces that you do on Woodwax 22. And as soon as you put it on, you can wipe it off. So that's me polished up.
Steve Scott said, "Does it go off?" No, it doesn't.
No.
But it does evaporate.
Yes, it
Sorry, if we're talking about shellac, yeah,
goes a little bit gloopy over time.
that's right. You just have to dilute it again.
Oh, let me.
Your camera's going mad now. Yeah.
Let's try that. Let's hold in for a minute.
Yeah. Calm down a bit. Yeah.
Right, I'm going to thin the point down. Still with a skew. Get rid of some of the bulk. That's down to 2 mil. You can just about see. Get rid of some of the crap this end. Using the long point. Now, I always put it's no good.
You need some light.
Yeah.
It's not too bad actually with it on, Keith. So.
Right. Yeah, well, Robbo was saying that earlier on, but so just before, that's 2 mil either end, holding it there. Just going to touch it with a little bit of paper. No weight on it. Don't really need to as it's off a skew. So that's straight in with 240. And I always just take the weight off on the tailstock. Straight in. Now I'm there at, can you guys see it?
No, not
it's about
quite.
1 mil drive in that. Go down to the, that's it, it's jumped off. Now that's on by a few mil, 2 mil at the most. Bit of 240 paper in your hand, just to take off the last few whiskers. And that is me done. I'll put it back onto Andy. All I'm going to do while he's performing his last little bit is just put a little bit of wax on the either end. You don't need to see me doing that. Wipe it
No,
off so it's all fully prepared then.
I had thought of it. Sorry, are we back on mine? Yes, we are.
Yes,
I
you're
had
back on yours.
thought about using Yorkshire grit, but in fact, I'm not going to bother because it's a nice finish, as it is just with the sanding sealant on there. So I'm going to use the chestnut microcrystalline wax and just whack that on there, and that will give it a nice finish. It's going to come up beautifully.
Terry, I think white spirit is what is recommended for wood wax 22 if it's hardened, but depending how much you've got, if it's hardened, if there's a lot in the tin and it's hardened, then try thinning it down. Robbo's put on terps, but I think Terry says white spirit. If there's only a little bit in there, put it on the same method as what I have just used for sanding with a Weebrax pad. It works quite well. I've got one that is very hard in the pot. It rejuvenates. It's pretty good.
Right, I should now do exactly what Keith did and part it off. I've got a bit of digging to do first on the headstock end. I'm nowhere near letting go yet, so.
Three-quarters of a tin, thanks guys. Well, if you've got that much left in there and it's gone hard, Terry, the answer is to use it a bit more often. If you're unsure, give Terry a ring on Chestnut Products. He's very helpful, but I'm pretty sure it's white spirit.
Mine's relaxed already.
What about your tailstock?
Sorry?
And what about your tailstock? Is that relaxed as well?
It did a bit. I was obviously nearly through, so I'm going to actually just take that off and break them off now. There's that one. There's that one. And then because I can, I'm going over to the sander.
Right, while Andy finishes his elf on the sander, I'll bring me back on so that when he comes back in, he can change cameras. So
Okay.
Let me turn that light on. That, guys, is today's effort from me. Not sure whether you can see. No, you can't. But the handle has got a grip on it, all done by the little decorating elf. Quite a handy little feature to have, and quite a useful little feature to have. Right, you ready to show off, Andy?
I am indeed, yep.
Right, you're on full screen for a second.
Lovely. I'm just using what was left of the wax on the paper just to finish off the ends. And there we are, the finished job.
Very nice, very different.
Fortunately, they are different, aren't they? Which I'm very pleased about. I wanted them to be.
There was no planning on this, guys. This was literally how they worked out.
Yeah, and we only started discussing it yesterday. So
Yeah,
you know,
5 minutes before I went live.
hasn't been a lot of time to get any planning done on it. So
No.
excuse me.
Right.
Oh, could I have a drink?
If I bring us back on to split screen, that's the one I've just turned. That's the one I turned yesterday just to see if I could. They both got the
That's the one I've just turned. That's the one I turned.
turbocharging ends.
That's the one I turned yesterday. That one there. So just to do the same thing, there we are. Actually, they're not very different.
No,
Good.
mine are ish the same.
Yeah, ish. Yeah.
The beads are in different places. The handle's slightly longer on this one, but all mine are different. Nothing's pre-planned.
Yeah. I've got exactly the same thing. The handle's slightly longer on one, and the beads are slightly different places. But yeah. So similar differences.
So it looks like you've already got rid of one of yours, mate. Barnaby can have one of yours.
it'll become a sword. It won't stay as a wand. I know that.
No. Well, thanks guys for joining Andy and I on this quick pop-up. We'll see if we can do something again. Yeah, maybe an egg cup or little mushroom or something like that.
It's been fun.
We can sort of jump in, jump out, and you can watch how we progress it. Or anyone else in the chat who wants to come in and have a go with us. Doesn't need to be just the two of us. Be nice for Pete Kelly to get himself organised and get a camera in there. And Terry Hooper is another one. They're both club members. Yeah, they're both club members, so I'm allowed to say that.
Robbo says, I noticed that Alison has praised Keith but not Andy. Wives, laugh out loud.
Thanks, Alison. There's not one better than the other.
Yeah. She just wants to give mine away, that's all.
Yeah. Well, I think you can see the way we're laughing as we normally do, that we both enjoyed it.
It was good.
Like I say, it was just a spur of the moment.
Thank you. She's chickening out now. She says yours is lovely as well. Thank you, my dear.
You can slap him when he comes in, Alison. It's okay. So, if you want to see more of something like this, if you come up with, it's got to be small projects. The last thing that I want to do is sit in here for 2 hours doing a bowl. Don't want to have a bowl off.
No,
I know I can turn one. I think I did last night. It's in just on 40 minutes, which surprised me.
Anything small. Yep.
Yeah. So, little mushrooms, egg cups, a little goblet or something like that we can have a bit of fun, bit of laugh with.
Yeah. So half hour maximum, I suppose.
Yeah, just over. I mean, we're
just over-ish. Yep.
On an afternoon like today, we could probably go for another half an hour if we wanted to. If you guys want to stop there, I can still see there's 22 out there watching us. So we must have filled in somewhere that was needed. Yeah, you better put your hard hat on when you go in, mate.
She's pussycat, really. Oh no, she's listening, isn't she?
You be careful.
Oh, take those off.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. You can. You can't. I'm not sure whether there's a thumbs up on this today or not. Whichever it is. Yeah, there will be on mine, I think, because I'm hosting it.
For you, yeah.
But there's nothing for Andy, so don't overhit them. Or when Andy puts it on his page later on, after we work out how to do it, go over and give him the thumbs up as well.
Scott said he'd help, didn't he? So
yeah. So it's not just me. I don't want all the glory. It's a joint one, like we've been saying all along. But
it's good fun.
Yeah.
Got to do something different now and again.
You didn't take a lot of persuasion last night. You just needed to make sure the calendar was free before you said yes.
That's right, absolutely. But
Uh,
yeah, there was no doubt about it. I was going to do it. Yep, and it's quite nice because you actually get to sit down a little bit, which you don't normally on a live. So
where you can have 4 or 5 minutes sitting down,
yeah,
trying to keep up with the chat, and
mhm.
yeah, watching what's going on. And like I say, I do apologise for my camera going ballistic today.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
shame that.
it's one of the newer ones, and it's one of the better ones. It's a Ted Gem, so but hey ho.
Yeah, just check all your plugs are in good and tight. That's my
Well,
usual
yeah,
first port of call.
I did because that one only comes on when I power up the powered hub because I've got that running through that. So whether that's anything to do with it,
You could try connecting it not through that. I took my
yeah,
powered hub out altogether in the end.
yeah,
I don't use it now. I've got it sitting in a drawer somewhere
right,
because I was getting too many problems with it. So,
yeah. So it
so
might be just
could
that.
could be that.
I can swap it over because I've got a spare. Well, I've got 7 cameras on and I've got 6 ports, so I can take it out and swap them over one at a time
Swap
if
it
I
round,
need
yeah.
to. Yeah,
And you'll
because I've got
probably find some cameras will work on the
yeah,
powered hub. Very no
yeah.
problem at all.
One
Yeah,
of the first cameras I put on didn't want to work other than just on the 90 mil of lead that it had. You put an extension on it, it just went ballistic.
yeah. They don't like them sometimes. I've
Yes,
got a couple
I'm
of spare
working.
cameras. So
I'm I'm working on that. As soon as Tom's available, he's going to come over and we're going to get it sorted. But
yeah,
it's just a bit too technical for my aged brain.
Steve
We thought
Scott.
we'd got it going.
Steve Scott says there is a thumbs up. Question: why do some delete the live chat? It's YouTube delete the live chat when you first do it, and then it comes back on after a day or so. The chat. I think that's the general case. It certainly was what happens to mine.
I think there's a button at the top that says show or hide live chat when it comes back. Bye, Alison. Thank you
Oh,
very much, love.
bye, Alison. Yeah, there's top chat and live chat. So you want to go to live chat. And
Yeah,
then
but
yes,
on the recording when it's put up
yeah,
on
that's right. It
YouTube,
comes.
I think there's 2 buttons that says either show or hide the
That's right.
chat.
There is on the replay bit,
Yeah,
but it won't be there tonight. The
after it's
chat
been
will.
censored, Robbo
Yeah, the
says.
chat will be gone. And then they censor it, and then it comes back on probably
Hmm.
tomorrow sometime.
I was
You're never quite
advised it's
sure.
about advised it was about 24 hours.
Yeah, it can be. It does vary a bit, but it's I must take them a bit of time to do it.
Hmm. Well,
So,
I can go straight in now and go to this recording on YouTube and watch it, but you
yeah,
guys can't. But hey ho,
it's tough at the top.
yeah. Well, I think we've had a good one, Andy.
Yeah,
I
I've enjoyed
enjoyed
it.
it. Good.
Yeah,
So with that, guys, I'm going to say it's goodbye from me,
yeah, and goodbye from me.
and I'm going to hit the off button and go and have a glass of water. End
Yes.
broadcast.